And what that is, holy... Okay, you guys, I know that I have not done a Pretty Little Liars review, recap, whatever in a minute, and that's because Pretty Little Liars has just been really, really working my nerves, okay? And it has managed to shock me and piss me off all at once. Okay, let's just get right into the episode. What? Okay, so if you guys have been following Pretty Little Liars, then you know that last week's episode ended with them finding out that Noel Kahn was actually in the dollhouse and planting all those weird things, like the blood when Spencer was freaking out in the dollhouse because she thought she killed someone. Noel Kahn actually planted the fake blood, or maybe it was like the blood of a pig that they were storing. I don't really know. Okay, all I know is that Noel Kahn was in on it. They found a flash drive. They figured out that when Hanna was abducted, okay, after they tried to catch AD in that little nowhere in the woods, or Mary of the Woods, whatever the heck that hotel was, okay, that she was actually taken to Noel Kahn's house, and that Noel Kahn was the one that was doing all these things. I still don't see the connection to Archibald. I mean, I guess I see the connection, but now nobody cares about Archibald. Okay, let's just talk about... So this episode just picks up from that point. Let's just get into all the big wow factors that just completely blew my mind. Okay, first of all, remember, Ezra, Nicole. Nicole calls, Hanna picks up, not Hanna, Aria picks up, nobody's there. So Emily, who has managed to piss me off all season long, convinces her to just delete the number and not tell Ezra, okay? And so then all of a sudden, Ezra proposes to Aria. She says yes, they're getting ready to elope to Italy, and then how serendipitous. The feds show up talking about that Nicole might still be alive. So, what does Aria do? Aria obviously was talking to Emily about what she did and contemplating whether she should tell Ezra or not. And then she's like, I lied to him. And then Ezra walks in, you lied about who, to what, blah, blah. And then, like, moving forward, instead of eloping, she trades their tickets in and gives him a ticket to Cambodia or Colombia, wherever he last was, and it seemed like Nicole just was nowhere to be found. So this whole entire time, Nicole was nowhere to be found, okay? Also, last week and continued, we found out that Aria had a relationship with Jason De Laurentiis. Wow. Okay. So that happened. So then Ezra calls, yo, they didn't find Nicole. Aria's like, you know, I'll come pick you up at the hotel. He's like, nah, I'm good. I'll take a cab, but I would really like if you would be home. I love you. Fine, whatever. Meanwhile, Hanna went all AWOL, so they called the police and said that she was a missing persons, and so the police kind of like have a police at every one of the liars' houses. And so Aria called Ezra while he was in the air and said, listen, I know you're still in the air, but when you get home, there's going to be, like, police at your door, and you're probably going to want to know why. Don't worry about it. Like, I'll tell you when you get home. Just don't get freaked out when you come here. So she's waiting. Ezra never shows up. All of a sudden, while she's on the phone with the not the police, but, like, the airplane people trying to figure out, like, what happened, if he got on the plane, if he got off, blah, she sees on the news that Nicole was found, and Ezra runs up to her, and they just embrace each other in loving, emotional embraces, okay? And he kisses her, and I don't even like Aria, but I felt so bad for Aria. But at the same time, it's kind of like you should have known that you were the rebound because you knew how messed up he was about losing Nicole. So why would you even try to jump into a relationship with someone like that? But then again, they're supposed to be 23 years old, so I mean, I guess we've all made that mistake at 23. Moving on. So Hanna goes AWOL and she kidnaps Noel Kahn, and she's trying to get Noel Kahn to confess that he's AD. They think that Noel Kahn is actually Mary Drake's son. Okay. Oh my god. Every time I say Mary Drake and another child, it just... After they put out this notice about Hanna being abducted possibly by Noel Kahn, Hanna calls Mona, because who else are you going to call to get you out of danger when you've gotten yourself into it? Mona Vanderwall. Mona goes, helps her. They decide to just tie him up. He was kind of still in and out of consciousness from Hanna whacking him in the back of the head. And then Hanna goes back. She gives this sob story. I'm so sorry. Like, I was just trying to find this girl that Noel had pushed down the steps when we were in high school and try to get her to, like, talk. Blah, 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 blah. And so, you know, she tells this to the police and to her friends, and they believe her. Well, the police believe her. Her friends are still kind of like giving her the side eye, like, what you saying? What you hiding? Because I know that ain't the whole story. Hanna Marin. Okay? So finally, because when she abducted Noel, she like took some blood from him and ran a DNA test just to prove that that was Mary Drake's son, but then the lab came in. Oh, and this was all after this phone call that of the lab happened when Hanna woke up from sleeping with Caleb. Because apparently now they're back together. Caleb, you know you trifling for that. You just confessed your love to Spencer. Spencer turned you down. And now you're going, like, listen, you remind me of this boy, okay, that was going back and forth from girl to girl to girl that I knew in middle school. You need to slow your roll, bro. Slow it. Anyway, so then the lab results come back in, and then Hanna has to tell them what she did. They go back to the hotel in New York, the motel in New York, and Noel Kahn isn't there, and now it's like, oh, crap. He escaped, and he took the camera. We see Sydney come back, because okay, while all that was happening, I'm running out of breath. Caleb and Mona were supposed to be tailing Jenna, okay, to find out what was going on with her, and then all of a sudden Jenna shows up at the Radley and gets 2 drinks, and they're all like, she's meeting someone, we're about to find out who it is. In actuality, poof, it was Sydney. I mean, it is just returned from everybody from seasons 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, I mean, we are just seeing everybody. I'm just waiting for Maya St. Germain to pop up and for Shayna, but you know what? Black people usually die in these kinds of stories, so they're probably long gone. Maybe. I don't really know. But yeah. So that happened, and now, of course, they haven't found Jenna. So then Noel took the camera that Hanna left with him. And all of a sudden, they get a text message, all the girls together, that, you know, to meet them at some address, right? And, like, mind you, the street was Elm Street. If you are familiar with Freddy Krueger, then you should have already known that was going to be sinister. But I So that happens. Spencer goes to say goodbye to Toby because Toby is going to move to Maine with, what's her name? Yolanda? Yvonne. He's going to move to Maine with Yvonne because somebody broke into the house trying to get some information that he had, looking up into AD, and beat her up a little bit, broke a couple of ribs, you know, whatever, the usual. And so they decide to move to Maine. So Spencer goes to say goodbye, and then she ends up like kissing him, but she asks permission first. All these love triangles, you guys. Wait, I need a sip. This episode almost drove me to drink today. Woo! Okay. So that happened. And then all the girls go, oh, P.S., what you call it, slept with what you call it. Emily slept with, oh my God, what is the girl's name? Allison, and Allison just found out that she's pregnant with Archibald Dunhill's baby. You know, the guy that they killed and buried in the woods. Yeah, him. So they go to the house, and inside the house, the first person you see is Mary Drake. And then you don't see anyone else. And it's just kind of like, what? Okay. And then all of a sudden, Noel Kahn pops out of nowhere. They put Jenna comes over the loudspeaker. And we don't see Jenna. We just hear her over the loudspeaker. But you see Mary Drake. Jenna goes, hey, put the flash drive on the thing. Like on the table or whatever. And they put the flash drive on the table, and they start playing the video. So they run upstairs because they figure that the video is upstairs. So they run upstairs to go get the video. All of a sudden, as they're walking up the steps, somebody slams the door, and then they notice the flash drive is gone. Okay. So now it's all the usual things of Pretty Little Liars. Running through the house, you got a blind girl with a gun. Then you got Noel Kahn trying to chase them too. He takes, you know those knight statues that have that big knife axe looking thing, a double-headed axe. I don't know what that thing is called, but I'm gonna call it a double-headed axe. So he grabs that to try and go get them, and he's like, you guys know too much, so we have to kill you. And so something happened where, excuse me, he was going this way, and Hanna and Emily come behind him with the coat rack, and they throw it at him. He somehow drops the axe and then trips over what? probably air, I don't even know, but he ends up landing on that double-headed axe and his head comes flying off down the steps. All while Jenna Marshall is blind with a gun. So, I don't know, I'm really confused, but someone ended up shooting Spencer. Someone. And then all of a sudden you see Mary Drake come out of nowhere because Spencer was shot and Spencer's like crawling. And at first you couldn't tell if she was shot in the leg or whatever. But then you notice that she's like shot in the shouldery kind of area. Like probably between your shoulder blade and like your chest cavity. She was shot like there. And Jenna's like, I can smell your blood, Spencer. I know it's you. Because she's such a freaking creep. Okay, so then she does that. And then... You guys, this is the part of the show that blew my mind the most. Mary Drake knocks Jenna Marshall out. She's holding pressure down and she's like, Spencer, I would never hurt you. And she starts singing like Hush Little Baby. And it's bad creepy because Spencer's just sitting there like convulsing, like all kinds of convulsions. And the girls run in there like, oh my God, what did you do? While they're hovered around Spencer, someone's dragging Jenna Marshall out. Okay, so Mary Drake is like, Spencer, I would never hurt you. I'm your mother. And it's like, what? And then it ends, and it's like, new episodes coming April of 2017. I don't have time for April of 2017 to find out what happens. Pretty Little Liars? Dang! I sat there at the very end because it's always the last freaking 2 seconds of the show that they want to do some kind of shenanigans. I sat there like, what kind of Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader scene did I just witness? And like when she said that, Spencer's eyes just rolled into the back of her head. And then it was like curtains for Spencer. But you know what? It makes a lot of sense because Spencer has a lot of psychological issues. Mary Drake has a lot of psychological issues. But look, can we just stop for 2 seconds and look at this triangle? You have Jessica De Laurentiis and her husband, I done forgot his name. Together, they had Allison De Laurentiis. But then Jessica went off and had an affair with Spencer Hastings' father and had Jason. Right? Okay. Then there's Charles De Laurentiis, who is Cece Drake, who is Charlotte. Okay? And she actually is Mary Drake's child. Now we find out that Spencer Hastings is also Mary Drake's child, which means Spencer Hastings is actually a Drake, and she's actually the cousin / sister. You know what makes me very, very, very upset? Because I'm gonna stop here. What makes me so upset is that all season long, I've just been so irritated with Pretty Little Liars. I really haven't been watching it on time, which is why I haven't been doing the review, recap, whatevers, because the show has just been so subpar lately. But finally, we get an episode that captivates me, that makes me have to come on here and do a review. And I don't get any more episodes until almost a full year later, and it's the end of the season. I don't understand why you would end a show with a whole new mystery. What's going to happen with Ezra and Aria and Nicole and that love triangle? What's going to happen with frickin' what's her name? Allison and that child? Where are the Hastings? Because we haven't seen Veronica Hastings, we haven't seen Mr. Hastings, and we dang sure haven't seen her suspectual sister, okay? Like, what is going on? You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I really wanted Pretty Little Liars to end with all of this being in Spencer's head. And the show ends with her sitting there looking like a crazed lunatic talking to her therapist. That's how I wanted the show to end because I love Spencer. I love Spencer. Spencer's amazing. Oh, P.S. totally forgot to tell you. Toby's supposed to be leaving with Yvonne, and all of a sudden at the end as well, after Spencer gets shot, we see Yvonne and Toby both. Apparently their car crashed. But back to what I was saying. I want all this to be a game. I want this all to be in Spencer's head. And once again, we are starting the seasons or ending the seasons with Endgame. How many Endgame seasons are we going to have? This is not funny. This is not fair. The show should be over. But instead, let's see. I have to wait September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. 8 months. 8 months. Almost a year I have to wait to figure out what the flip no squad is going on. I used to be sad that Pretty Little Liars was ending, and now I'm kind of glad. That is all that I have for you guys today. That is it. If you saw tonight's episode, please let me know in the comments down below what you thought about it. What was the most shocking scene from you? I guess we can all agree it was the whole Spencer-Mary connection. Or then again, it kind of wasn't all that shocking because I had a feeling. That somehow Spencer was connected. Somehow. There's too many crazy people going on up in that family. And then here's the real question. Do we actually believe that Jessica De Laurentiis is dead? I mean, I think we've watched the show long enough to know that just because you see a body that looks stiff doesn't mean that the person is actually dead. That's all I had to say. Despite my anger, I did enjoy the episode, though. Like, for real. I did. I'm still mad that somebody shot my girl Spencer, though. Y'all know how I feel about Spencer. Y'all know Spencer's my favorite. But if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more like it from me, you need to definitely be part of the GG Meister Merpod and come swimming with us on all of our adventures. How might you do that, you might ask? Well, it is simple as apple pie. All you have to do is rate, comment, subscribe, and share because sharing is caring. And I'll be seeing you the next video I do. Loves and likes ya. Bye!